Okay. Hi everyone. Happy happy Tuesday.
Day.
Good
Good morning.
Morning.
afternoon or good morning for some.
Oh yeah, still good morning here.
Welcome in.
Exciting times. I finally finished all my screenshots. Now I have to replace them.
Oh
But
yeah.
looking save.
Mm.
Mine's fine.
Somebody said hello from Marietta, Georgia. I am on Tybee Island, Georgia for this month. So I'm working from Tybee. We're neighbors.
We'll just keep letting everyone trickle in for a few minutes.
Seattle, Washington. The 9 o'clock, or I think what is it, the 9 o'clock Eastern meetings? Those must be tough to attend from Seattle.
Yes, there are early birds still
Yeah.
there. Yep.
All right, I think we can go ahead and get this started. We've got quite a bit of people joined today. I am stepping in for Ronnie today. So hopefully I can live up to that. All right, a few more people joining, and we are recording this today as always, and that will be posted on our YouTube for reference in the future. All right, as people continue to trickle in, if you want to, the way we do this is just go ahead and raise your hand and we can get to any questions that you might have in the order that they come in. So does anyone have a question that they want to get started with?
I'll go ahead and ask a follow-up question. Hopefully, uh, it will also maybe be a refresher for some folks. I know I've been communicating with you on one IGP about the points tracking module. And I think I figured it out based on all our communications. But want to premise with when we create an event, and I'm going to walk you through what the process I think is in my head and make sure I'm not missing anything. So one IGP we would create an event prior to the event closing. We make sure that the certificate is placed as a ready to go after event. Um, I noticed that that is not the point assignment is not readily in the events module. Rather, it's in the points tracking module. So let me confirm that. Is that correct, Yvonne or Kaylee?
That is true.
Okay. So what we do is we have the events, we advertise how many points they're eligible for. When we're done with the event, we try to right away do the attendance based upon the attendance of the folks that actually showed up for the class. And then the critical step is actually going to the points tracking and exporting those marked attendance that automatically will assign those points to those individuals.
That's right.
Okay. If we miss somebody by any chance, then or folks submit something manually in our system, um, they'd have to just physically create that points tracking request, or we can do it for them. I don't know what other chapters are doing. If you guys are feeling confident inside that points tracking module, I'm open to hear what others are doing.
I can say that manually they can do it and you approve it, or on the admin side, you can go in and do it for them, which would, I think, automatically approve them if an admin inserts it. And you can do that by looking up the title of the event when you go into the points tracking module and then assigning it to that particular member. And in that case, you don't even have to say register them for the event and track them as attended. You can just manually go in and add them, those, whether you use points or hours or both.
Right. That was another thing that we were kind of, I think we learned this in class was we had to choose either points or hours, but I think, are they not both like has the asterisk or the dot on there? So we had to put something.
So can you go to the Washington chapter, Yvonne?
Mhm. I will just say that the points tracking module is something that I am not as well versed as Kaylee is. That's why she's walking you through this. And by the way, since we're here, I'm sure if you've gone into the website since yesterday, you've noticed that there is the new user interface. One of the first things is this logo here shows up now on the login. I'm going to just go real quick before we go anywhere I noticed Gulf Coast, for instance, did not have that. And so if you go to login at Gulf Coast, they're just showing the Club Express logo. So we will go over today where you need to upload your logo so it'll appear here. Okay, Kaylee,
I
where'd you want
believe
me to go?
I believe points tracking is under website.
Yes.
Yeah, on the left.
Mhm.
Okay.
Takes a little longer to find things now.
You know,
The memory muscle has to be reprogrammed.
exactly.
Okay, so most of the modules have an option to configure the way that you want them to be set up. So that should be under options and configure, or it just takes us right there.
Mhm.
So Ginny, this is where you will choose whether or not to have that. So the reason why you have an asterisk that's
So
saying points and hours are required is because you have decided, or well, when it
I
was set.
marked yes.
So
Perfect.
if you're only tracking one or the other, just mark yes for
Okay.
the one you're tracking.
Okay, perfect. So I think I'm going to select the hours because it's the easiest for us. So yep. So thank you for
Okay.
that. And then for those who are just now starting to track, the contact person, it's only one person that gets notified via email. And that's our education research committee chair or your PROD, whoever that would be the most appropriate person if you're not doing so. Okay,
Do you
great.
want me to save this?
Yes, let's go ahead and save it. Thank you. I knew
And
I
I
was like,
will,
why are we doing both all the time? And it's like it's it gets confusing. So people are
sorry,
having
I
to
couldn't
mark.
hear you very well.
Oh yeah, no, that's okay. I
All
forgot.
right, I am going to save this, but I'm also going to bring up one thing. If for some reason you need more than one person to be notified, there is a workaround that I will show you in a minute. So I'm going to
Yeah.
save this. And the workaround for that is under communications and emailing. No, I'm sorry, muscle memory. Like I said, I got to figure out email accounts. So each website should have up to 5 email accounts, and they're not actual emails; they're email forwardings. And the first 5 are free. If you want additional, there's you have to ask Club Express to turn on additional. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you have additional, I believe NIGP actually pays for those. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Jenny knows because you have quite a few.
Yeah. I think NIGP pays for the first five. Anything beyond that is a very minimal cost.
Yeah. It's
So
$5 a year per extra one. So the workaround, if you needed more than one person to be notified, is you would just set up a email forwarding. And here's one right here. So you could set it up as something like points tracking at, and then it would be your URL. And then here, if you wanted that email to forward to multiple people, you would just put a semicolon and then add all of the email addresses that you want that email to forward to. And then the last step is you actually have to create a member, a fake member, with that email address. Because if you remember when we looked at the points tracking, website points tracking options, I'm going to remove Aaron for a second. You have to select a member. So you would just create maybe a points tracking member with that email address that you created, and then you would find that points tracking member here. And then anytime somebody were to do that action and that notification needed to go out, it would go out to everybody that was included in that email forwarding in that under the titles or under the emails under communications. So I'm just going to put this back. Was it Birch?
BUCH, BUCH.
Okay. And if you have any questions about that or need help setting any of those up, just let me know. But that comes in useful for multiple things like membership. Maybe you need more than one person to be notified whenever somebody joins, or treasure, you need more than one person to be notified when there's a payment made. So that does definitely come in useful and for different reasons.
Yvonne, could you go
Mhm.
back and show us one more time how to get to that email account administration?
Sure. It's under Control Panel, Communications, and then under the setup here, which used to be the bottom row in the control panel, it's email accounts.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think before we move on, because at least one person, Cindy, mentioned that they just started tracking, is to highlight a couple important things about points tracking that are really important. And this starts, I'm going to begin with the event itself. If you're wanting to be the most efficient in bulk uploading points or hours, it starts at the event itself. And so if you could go to any particular event and show how to track attendance. So in the back end of any event, tracking attendance falls under, I think, is it registration?
Well, first of all, you under the basic info, you need to turn it on. So that would be after event. And then under after event, this is where, well, there's a couple steps. So this is where the certificate is. And actually, I was going to look at a certificate if anybody, I know somebody was asking about certificates, but let's go back to registration.
So you guys would go under attendance, right? That's where
Yeah. So the first thing is you definitely want to go under basic and make sure you have after event turned on. So that's under the basic info, and that's the very last option down here. So you have to make sure this is clicked. And then under registration and fees, down here is attendance, track attendance, and apply attendance credit. You have to have those turned on. And then after the event has transpired, you would go to the easiest way to track is to do it from the back end versus the front end, because in the back end, as an admin, you can mark attendance and you can choose everybody. And then let's say this person and this person didn't attend, then you would just unmark them and click save, which of course I'm not going to do. Whereas if you do it from the front end, oops, sorry, you have to mark each person individually as attended. So the quickest way for you guys to do it is going to be from the back end.
Yep.
So once you have marked attendance, how that actually plays into the points tracking module itself, if you could go to the points tracking module, unless you're doing something else. So the other very important aspect of the points tracking module is after an event has passed, you only have 90 days to, one, mark the attendance in the event like we just saw. And then within 90 days, you can import all of those attendees from the event directly rather than, finding every single person and doing it individually. Do a bulk import from event that expires after 90 days. So that's that button there at the top of the page under the points tracking module. It's up. Import from event. And if it's been within 90 days, you will find your event in the dropdown. At 91 days, it's gone. And then you have to go through the painstaking process of individually adding hours per member. So that's where you'll find those and enter in, say it's 2 hours, hit import. Once you hit import, every single member that attended and was marked as attended will have 2 hours credit under that particular event.
Okay, anyone have any questions? Okay. Does anybody have any other questions that you want or anything you want covered today before we move into a couple little things?
Yes, I have a question.
Mhm.
In our control panel, I think it's cleared up now, though. I'm just looking at the new one. Prior, when we transitioned members over, it showed us with a few members, and then the rest of them were pending. But then when you go to people search, they were all 73 or 72 were active. But now I don't see that now. So it may have cleared up with the new update.
And which group are you with, Cindy?
I'm with Central Gulf Coast, CGCC, Central Gulf Coast. So it says 23 memberships and then 72 active members. And and prior it said that the majority of those active members were pending, but then when you went to the control panel to look up pending, they weren't listed as pending.
So you're saying this one here had a greater number than one?
Yes. So most of our membership was in that pending status, but it looks like it's cleared up. What's the difference between the membership and then the active members?
So
Entity?
yeah, this is 23 primary members, and this is
Okay.
the number including secondary.
Okay, so it looks
it's
like
not-
our issue's good.
Yeah, it's not that you have 72 secondary, it's that you have a total of 72. So subtract 23 from 72.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, didn't you have a lot where everybody was uploaded? Did you have everybody uploaded separately as primaries?
No, I believe we have fixed that. I'm not sure during our transition from chapter manager, star chapter, because I took over the website after the transition, and we had just done a few basics at that point. So I wasn't sure what happened during that transition, but I did try to go in, and I believe I cleared everything up. I'm hoping I did. But we had quite a few duplicates, so I was assuming that what happened is there was an issue during that transition, or it was done incorrectly by us or something.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe the pending was just because you were still cleaning up. Were you still cleaning up yesterday?
No, I had finished months ago, and it still showed that oddity, but it looks like it's
like it's good now.
For some reason, it looks like it's good. So then I don't have a problem. We're all well.
Okay. Okay, anybody else?
I just put a text in, y'all. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, if you could just speak up a little bit. Sorry, my speaker
Yeah.
on my laptop is not the best.
No worries. I'm using a microphone from a laptop too, so same issue. But I don't want to take a lot of time in the meeting. So if this is something that that I can do offline, or if there's a place you can point me to for uploading a picture on the front page so it can sort of go by like a holiday message or something. We currently have 3 or 4 what I call banner photos at the top of our homepage. I just would like to know how to add one.
Okay, which group are you with?
I'm with Cindy at the Central Gulf Coast chapter.
So James, are you wanting a second banner or to update that banner?
Well, I want to add an additional banner,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
updating would be good as well if it's the same process. But in this case, I was just thinking about adding an additional one for the holidays.
Okay, so not adding just an additional slide. You want to add a whole new additional rotating banner on the homepage?
No. Just a slide.
Okay, perfect.
A Christmas tree on the beach with, Santa on a surfboard, something to that effect. And I'll put text on it that they can click on, and it would go to another page as well. So.
Okay, so right now I'm in the editor for the homepage, and if I go into this row, if I click on this row, I get Insert, Edit, Advanced Editor. And it's a little trickier to work with, but it's not undoable. Or it's definitely you're capable of doing it. It's going to be and if you have a problem and something happens, I can help you clean it up. But I'm guessing most likely what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to move your holiday image to the first image. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start by taking this and copying it and placing it here.
Okay.
And then you're going to take this one and move it down. So eventually when you do all this, you're going to have a blank one up here. And that's where
Okay.
you're going to find you're going to upload your image separately, and you're going to copy the URL for that image, and you're going to paste it into here.
Okay.
Then what you have to do is because you're moving the images down, you have to move the text down. So then you're going to want to the easiest way for me to do it, I find, is to go into the HTML and go up to the text. So this is all the information for the first slide. And then starting here is the information for slide 2. So what I would do is this H1 means it's heading number 1. So this is where the text starts. I would take this information because it also has the link that you're clicking on for the button. I would go from H1 to right here at the end of that line to the end div, and I would copy that and I would paste it over this H1 to the end div. But you want to start, obviously what you want to do, you want to start from the bottom up. You don't want to start at 1, because right now, so 5 has, so let's see, let me go back. So number 5 slide is the one that you're going to start working with. So what you would really want to do is you'd want to go H1 here, and then you'd want to go H1 for your new slide that you're now going to be using, that you're now going to be adding, and you just paste it right in there. And then you'd go up to number 4 to the end of that line, and you would paste it in number 4, or in, number 3 to number 4. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does to me, yeah.
And then, so I'm not going to save this because I didn't do it right anyway. But remember, when you save and make active and it doesn't look right, if you made a mistake, you can always revert back. So you would if this were the one that you saved and made active, and version number 17 was correct and you needed to start over, you could just go back to the other version that was correct, and you would just activate it for main and start over. So you're never going to lose the correct version. You can always you play with it until you get it to look right. And if you have just absolutely no No luck, just let me know and we can help you with that. Now to get the URL for the image, because if you remember right here, oops, I said you're going to have to put the new image URL here. You would upload your image under website, web graphics, and I'm just going to find any for now. And let's say this is the image you wanted to use right here. You'd go to Actions, copy image URL, and then just click that the clipboard, and that's
Uh-oh.
She froze on us.
Frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen.
It happens.
Let me share and finish up what she was saying, and hopefully we can get her back. Let me share. Okay. James, can you tell me again what group you were with?
Central Gulf Coast.
Can everyone see my screen?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So she was talking about uploading the image into the web graphics. So that is once again under website, web graphics. Here's where you're going to add that new image.
Okay.
And it's nice to have maybe a folder of homepage banner if you
Yeah,
want
for
to kind
sure.
of keep them all consolidated in the same place. This is where you would add those folders. But to do what she was doing, taking a random image to see how to insert it, copying the image URL, and then going back to edit your home page. Just for the sake, I'm going to see if we can just pop it into slide 5 and see what we get there.
Okay.
So that's basically how that works. It's pretty simple. The HTML, I understand, can get overwhelming. But like I said, like she said, feel free to email us and I'll put
Okay.
the email in the chat, and we're available, every day. Just send us an email of anything that you might be having an issue with, and we can work it out for you.
Of course. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pop that email into the chat.
sorry about that.
All good. I appreciate the info.
All right, I will stop sharing since you're back.
Okay.
And then someone in the chat asked how to merge duplicate members. I gotta see who brought that up. I believe it's Georgia.
Georgia chapter.
Georgia PAG.
This one here. Whoever asked that question, go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know if I have the right site.
No, it's the Georgia procurement, the GPAG, not the Georgia chapter.
Okay, why am I not finding it? This one here?
There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so go to the people manager, the people tab, and the people manager. And do you have a name as an example?
Yeah, we could do my name because when they transferred over, since I was a board member, they put us all in the system. then somehow when we joined, it created duplicates for all of us.
Okay. So when you go to the people manager, it automatically defaults to this checked for members only
Mhm.
and active and expired. I highly recommend anytime you ever work in the people manager, check all and
Yes.
check both.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. And then, okay. So you have 2 individual primary memberships.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I want to just check your secondaries. Oh, okay. So they're individual memberships. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Mhm.
Okay. So the first thing you need to do is you need to decide which profile you want to keep. You're not going to lose any transactions in your profiles. This number here indicates to me that you were probably an admin at the beginning when the website was being set up.
Yes.
And so that number was one of the very first ones, and it was while you were creating the website that you had access before it even went live. So let's go ahead and keep that one.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to choose the other one, and we are going to convert it to a non-member. The
Okay.
way to do that is first thing you want to do is expire. And then when it says expired, now you can convert to non-member. So you click on expired and you convert to non-member. You don't want to drop. You must expire and then convert to non-member. Don't drop. Because
Okay.
if you drop somebody, you cannot convert a dropped member to a non-member. The way you
Okay.
have to do that is if you accidentally drop somebody, you have to reactivate them, then expire them, and then convert them to a non-member. So
Okay.
now what we're going to do is we're going to merge the non-member into the active member profile by
Okay.
going to the non-member profile, actions, and then clicking on more options. And then when you click on more options, you have the option here of merge. And then you're going to merge with a member. And you can do this if you have multiple active non-members as well. You can merge the non-member profiles together. But for this case, we're going to be merging it with an active member profile. And
Okay.
then you select the profile you want to merge it with and then click save.
Okay.
And now there's only one profile for you.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I saw
I
you
do
got
want to bring something up real quick about non-members. Let me see if I can find some duplicate non-members in here quickly. Okay, Reginald Bryant. Okay, so here is a duplicate of Reginald Bryant. You can see this little envelope. That means that this one has an email address with the profile, and this one does not. So we want to merge, and when we merge, we want to make sure that we keep the profile that has the email address. And this gets a little tricky, and I have to think about this all the time. So just in case, I'm going to save this email address because I want to make sure I don't do it right.
Okay.
When you want to merge 2 non-members and you want to keep this one, you actually start with the profile that you want to get rid of.
Okay.
So you go to this one and click more options, merge with a non-member, Bryant. And I am going to pick the bottom one because I chose the top one.
Okay.
And now I'm going to save. And now it merged it into the profile that had the email address. So
Yeah.
it seems a little different, but it's something to keep in mind when you're merging 2 duplicates. Choose the profile, start with the profile you want to get rid of. You want to move that information into the new profile or the profile that you're going to choose when you're merging them.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Jackie, I made a comment to your question about the committees being on the website. Was that your question too? Because
Yes.
I just added our webpage. I noticed it on our webpage on our committees looks a lot different. It looks better, I think. But it definitely looks different today, but it is, I don't know how that page was built, but it's under about. And then committees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've done some nice updating to this. Also, I don't know if anyone's using the news module, but the news module looks better as well. I think like here is
there's a news module. I'm not sure about that. I have not heard that yet.
I froze again.
You can still
My
see.
internet is very unstable today, unfortunately.
That's okay. We can still see you. We can still hear you.
I won't waste your time on that because just in case if my internet goes down. But yeah, look around on your websites. You're going to see some new changes that definitely make it look a little bit more appealing and more up to date. I did want to quickly, before I lose internet again, show you where you can upload your logo if your website does not have that logo. Because as I mentioned, the login page now includes a logo here. They've redesigned the login. So this one, for instance, has the Club Express logo because no logo has been updated. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to update your logo here or upload your logo by going to the chapter website. I'm sorry, chapter tab. And I'm pretty sure everybody's is going to be named chapter. If it's not named chapter, it would be in the same position. So the positions don't change, but you can change the name here. So, but everybody should be chapter. So go to chapter and then go to, where is it? I hope I didn't. Oh, I'm not on the chapter. There we go. And then go upload club logo. So if you once you upload your club logo here, by just clicking on the upload, it says it should be 150 by 150, just roughly 150 by 150 pixels. Then it'll show up on that login page, which just makes it look a little bit more professional. The other thing you can do is you can have Club Express upload a little graphic so that I'm not finding it here. A favicon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I always call it a favicon. So that like if somebody were to look for, let's do the Washington State chapter of NIGP. This right here is a favicon. And see right here, when somebody does a search, they're seeing Club Express's logo. But you can create a favicon very easily. And if anybody's interested, I will send information via email to you on how to do that. And then it can just be your little logo. And then you can send it to Club Express and say, please update my favicon with this image so that when they go on when somebody searches for you, they don't see Club Express's logo, they'll see your logo instead. Okay.
Is that the
And again,
support at clubexpress.com email?
Yes, you would send it to, once it's been created, you send it to support@clubexpress.com. But they do want it in a specific size and a specific format. And I was not expecting to go over that today or mention that today, so I don't have that quickly at hand. So just send an email to me at NIGP@clubexpress, NIGP@acclaimpros.net, and I will send that information to you.
Yeah, please send. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Now,
Anyone else have any questions?
I don't know, Jackie, you mentioned that you were interested in implementing committees onto your page. You said your previous website had a board page and a committees page. I don't know if that's too robust to talk about now, but just the committees module is what Ginny was using, and she put a link to her committees page in the chat. Is that something we have time to go over?
Yeah, I think so, as long as my internet doesn't go out. Which website, which chapter?
That's GPAG.
GPEG.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Yeah, the same one, yeah.
Yeah. So the committees module is under the people tab,
Okay.
committees. And so you currently have these committees set up, but you don't have any members in them. And for instance, if you wanted to set up a board, let's just do board of directors here. You would just click on add committee, board of directors. You can put a purpose in here if you want. You can decide who gets to see the member list. Maybe you are going to put this on your website, a link to the committees, and you only want members to see who are on the board. But you have the three options: admins only, members only, or everybody.
Okay.
Whether or not you want to show their photos, those are the photos that people upload in their profile that also populate in the member directory. Maybe you want members only here too. Do you want to show send email? So show
Yes.
send email means that somebody can click the button and send an email to everybody in that committee at once. So most likely you don't want that for a board, but for membership committee, something like that, you might want that. But that's what that is. You can even upload an image if you want. If you have a specific email address for the committee, again, this could be one of those forwarding emails, although with the forwarding emails that we went over earlier, there is a limit in characters and putting in all the email addresses. I don't know what the exact limit is, but it's probably something like 250 characters. So
Okay.
you're not going to be able to put 15 people in there for that forwarding. But if you have something like a Gmail, you could definitely put a Gmail in there. Track dates, that's like for board of directors where you would put in this person was voted onto the board in December 1st of 2025 and their term ends December 1st, 2027. And then come December 1st, 2027, they'll automatically expire out of that committee. You don't have to do anything. Okay. And members can add or remove themselves. That, of course, is self-explanatory. That's usually good for something like a volunteer committee when somebody wants to automatically volunteer or volunteer automatic by themselves. You know what I'm trying to say?
You're right.
Yeah. And then limited memberships would be like if there's a mass, like especially with a board. If there's only 11 board positions, that's a limited membership. Okay. So let's just save that real quick. And then when you want to add people, you go to the Actions tab, Members, and most of committees are usually only members, but you can add non-members to committees as well. But you would just do it the same way you do all the other options in Club Express where you select the name. And we would just put in Cooley, select. Now, maybe you need a title. Maybe this person is the president and you want that title to show up. Then you would choose your title. If it's a new title that you don't have, you can add the title right here. You can create a new title easily right here. And then this, of course, is self-explanatory. Do you want members to see the phone number, etc.? And then you just save. And now if I were to add, you do have committees here. These are all the different committees. Remember, there was that option to upload an image. You can upload an image, like for instance, maybe you have a picture of all the board of directors and you can upload an image and it would show up like Ginny's was earlier. And then if I clicked on view members, there are the members.
Okay.
And I would take that off by going back to the board of directors, actions, members, and I am going to delete. And that's how you manage the committees.
Okay, cool. I got it.
Okay, Ginny, you had a question?
Yeah, my question was, we've had a lot of recent requests where somebody wants to remove themselves from a committee, but there's only like a delete button, which does not give me confidence that it I can run a report later to say they were only in it for 9 months or a year because they're trying to ask for points for being a volunteer. So if you delete it, is there some way to find the record as to when they were added and when they were deleted?
Not that I'm aware of, no. It would just be the actual committee members on the day that you run the report.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was the answer, but I had to
Yeah.
ask because I was like, okay, so that's
Yeah,
someone
the only way
really
it would
doesn't.
be different is if there was an option here where it had a date range. So since this doesn't have a date range, that tells me that it doesn't allow that. If it had a date range, then it would tell you, you'd be able to put in a date range and it would say these are the members that were on that committee during that date or during that period of time.
Yeah, I don't know anybody else in the chapters here. How are you tracking your committee? Because when people have to cert and recert, they get points for, or they at least get to claim contact hours for being a volunteer at the chapter, right? And I did post that question in Insight. There was a couple of questions or responses there. So if you haven't seen that in chapter leaders in Insight, look for it. So just another, you know, info I wanted to ask. Um, and then Yvonne, can you refresh my memory why the certificates were added in the module,
In the events module,
in the events module? Yeah.
did you say why they were or when?
Yes. Why is that something that NIGP thought we should have, or it's just another
No,
feature they just added?
it was just a feature that was added for everybody. It's a great feature, and if anybody's not using the certificate builder yet, I could go through that. I am prepared to go through that a little bit if you wanted some information on that.
Well, I know how, so I'm not, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna do that. But what I do want to mention for another session, if folks do want to see how to create that certificate, because it is quite involved. Um, what I found helpful is already having create multiple ones. So you have one contact hour. So we do that for lunch and learn, and then 2 hours if it was to 3.5, whatever. Create like a whole library of certificates. And when Yvonne finally gets a chance to do the demo, basically you have it in your document library and you only apply that for what event that you have. It features where you place, it will auto-populate the event, the name of the attendee, the event title and the date, and then the points. It's already pre-selected, I'm gonna just say.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, you'll have a choice
you'll have the choice, but you have
for
to
each
build that.
event.
Yeah, you just have to build the document library.
Yeah, so I will go if I know Jackie raised her hand that she would like to see that, so I will go through that. And Jackie, if anybody needs more in-depth tutorial on this, you can just let me know. But let's start. I'm going to go with this website because I actually have one that I have to create for them. And so what I did was I went to the control panel website and the calendar. This is again, it's named calendar on this website, but yours might be named events calendar or events, but it's the same feature because these modules, you can rename them. So I'm going to click on calendar. And when I click on that, I get certificate right here. So when I click on this certificate, these are the ones that I've already created. Like Jenny was saying, you can create multiple for multiple hours. You can create as many as you need. But what I have here today that I need to create is a 1 hour of technology CLE. So I am going to start with a new graphic. So I'm going to click Add New Graphic, and then it opens up this page. Now I've already created a 8.5 by 11 certificate for this group, and I've created it in 850 pixel by 1100 pixel. And it's a JPEG image. So that's what you should start with. Now, it could be the other way. It could be 1100 by 850 if you want your certificate to be horizontal. But this certificate that I'm working with right now is a vertical certificate. So I am going to click the background here and upload my image. And again, it's a JPEG. And now it drops it in here. Okay. And I'm going to name this technology CLE. And same thing. And then now I'm going to fill in some fields that'll automatically populate when I mark somebody attended at an event. So I'm going to go to Elements and select the elements. These are the available elements that you can automatically populate. And I'm going to choose attendee name. And I'm just going to leave it as 0 and 0, and I'll show you what that does. It means that it drops it all the way up here in the upper corner. So I can drag it to where I want it. And then down here, and then it tells me exactly what my XY coordinates are for where I've dropped that down. And now down here, I'm going to add another element, and I am going to add the event title, which again just brings it up here. And I'm just dragging and dropping, and I'm going to put my event title right there. And my little box is kind of jumbled in here in Google Chrome. It looks better, I think, in Firefox. I don't know if you're using Chrome, Edge, Firefox, but I see Chrome has a little bit more issues than Firefox or Edge does. And you can even choose your alignment. I'm going to have the title left aligned, and then I'm going to add the date of the event. And I'm just going to drag it down. And if I want to make sure that I've got it all set up properly, 361.907, this is 364, so maybe I'll just go 361 so that they line up exactly to the left. And that's it, basically. You can change your properties here by clicking on the automatic population thing, and then click on text or style. You can choose the color, you can choose the font, you can choose the size. Maybe you want this to be 20 and you want it not all caps, but we want bold. And apply change. Now, when you're all done with that and you save, you can go back and edit too. Okay, you're not stuck with what you just saved. You can edit this at any time. But I'm just going to show you what it looks like real quickly. So I'm going to go to my profile and my event history. Now, after you've closed out an event and you've marked people attended and you have assigned that certificate to that event, which I'll show you one more time real quickly. Once you mark them as attended, it'll appear here. And see what's a good one. They changed this. It used to have a little printer icon, and that's how you would know. So like 90% of these here didn't have a printer icon because I didn't assign a CLE certificate to it. So I don't like this because without being able to see, now I'm not exactly sure which one has a certificate that I completed. But I'll look at this one here. So completed tells me that I've marked my attendance for this event. So it's likely I might have a certificate here. If it doesn't say completed, then I have not marked attendance. So here's print certificate. And then there's what the certificate looks like. And people can print their own certificates in the future. So it automatically put my name here, automatically put the date, and automatically put the title of the event. So just play around with that. What I would do, if you want to make sure it looks correct, I would create a fake event, register yourself for that fake event, and then assign that certificate. You can, when you create an event, you don't have to have it showing on the calendar. You can mark the event as not visible, but you can still register. And then That's not a good one to choose because that's an external event. You can mark yourself, or you can, first off, you can, under the basic info, you can change it from visible to everyone. You can change it to not visible. And then you can register yourself and you can continually check the certificates, and by just adding in the after event, register yourself, mark yourself as attended, and then when you go to the after event, you can choose your certificate. And then once you marked yourself as attended, you could go to your profile and see what the certificate looks like. And maybe you want to move something over a little bit or bold something, then you can just make those edits. And again, to make the edits, you'd have to go back to the calendar and certificate to make the edits. And you just choose which one you want to edit some more. Okay? Now, I think with us, I did want to go over just, everybody hopefully is aware and has noticed just today with me with all of the changes they've made to the control panel. Some things are great, some things aren't so great. The one thing I noticed yesterday that maybe I'll point out is under your emails. If you copy emails over and over, like I want to maybe copy this email. I'm going to go to my actions tab and copy. And now here is the copied email and I want to edit it. It copies over the distribution list that you had. And let's say you didn't want to send it to that distribution list anymore. It used to just have a delete button. It had a trash can that you would just click on the trash can. And now it has an actions button, which is silly because the only action there is remove. So it requires 2 clicks now instead of just 1, but that's how you have to remove if you want to start with a new distribution list in the email. That was one thing I noticed yesterday that was a little strange. But otherwise, what they're doing is they're just trying to keep everything as action buttons now. That's really all I had for you, unless somebody else has some other questions.
Can you show me how to get to the calendar one more time?
Sure. So let's look at your site in particular. So it's under the website tab, and see yours is named events.
Events. Okay.
Yeah. And in case anybody ever wanted to change the names, you would go to configure, and then you would find the one that you wanted to change the name for, and then you would change it here. And this is what the browser text is, the menu text is, but this is the backend text.
Can I ask this? When you were doing the certificates, you pulled an image, right?
Mhm.
I feel like this is a silly question, but how do you end up with that image to be able to pull? How was that created?
Well, you can do it a couple different ways. You can do it in Canva, but the way that I did it, because I had originally had that certificate in Word, is I had the Word certificate, because prior to Club Express rolling this out, we used to have to email certificates out to everybody when they register or when they attended an event after the event was over. So, I just had a regular 8.5 by 11 Word certificate that I PDF'd. And then once I PDF'd it, I exported it. Let's see, I export a PDF and I exported it to a JPEG. And that's how I did it. And then when I exported it to the JPEG, it was a huge JPEG, and I just reduced the size by 50% so that it fit better in that module.
And then how did you get that in?
So to get it in, you go to the website, your calendar or events. I'll go to Georgia events, and then go to certificate. And then so she doesn't have any created, so it didn't even open a pop-up where it asked me if I wanted to create a new one or edit an existing one.
Right,
So
that's
because
what
she
I was
doesn't
saying.
have any, it went right there. And then basically what you're doing is that certificate is the background. So you click on background, select image, and then you just find the image on your computer and you upload it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Somebody asked if the link to this recording is going to be sent out. Yes, Ronnie does that after. She cleans up the video and then she uploads it to the website. For those that are not aware, for those who are admins, under your About tab, there is this admin only FAQs. And if you click here, there's a ton of things that are very good. These are key instructional videos. Ronnie spent a lot of time taking some of the videos and the full hour videos and even taking smaller snippets of those full hour videos and putting them here. And then there are also another page here that is very useful. If you want to look for a specific topic, you can search for a specific topic, but she's got tons of training on this site, including, you can see there's some code. This is the marquee scroller that we showed a few months ago. I don't know if anybody has a marquee scroller, but this might be good to use for a Happy Holidays message. I'll show you what the marquee scroller looks like real quick. And there's code right there that we shared that you can grab and use. Let's see. I think I just hit it here. Yeah. So the marquee scroller is this, and you can change the background color, you can change the text, you just drop it into an advanced editor, but it could be just something that's scrolling across that says something about Happy Holidays or season's greetings or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot on that page, a lot of information in this admin FAQs. Again, it should be under, and if it's not, let us know. It's supposed to be under everybody's About tab and admin FAQs.
Hey, that's awesome. I just wanted to add a quick follow-up question to that, and please forgive me, I don't want you to go deep on it, but if you do put the code in for the scroll, does it just apply to one of the 4 or 5 or 6 banners, or does it go and show underneath each one of them?
It would be a separate row. So if I go back here, it's a completely separate row. So on your website, as an example, or here, I'll grab
Oh,
this code.
it just stays put then. I see.
It's only going to show up on the home page, but yes. So
Okay.
I'll drop it in here and show you real quick. So that's NIGP, this one, home. So what you would do is you would just pull a row 100% over here. And that row right now says no content. I'm going to change it to a text. And I want to go into advanced editor text, this one here. And I go to the HTML tab down here and I just paste that in. So right now it has no background color. There's some things we have to fix in there, but I'm going to hide it for now. So now that means nobody can see it. But when you do want to make it active, you would just click here. This means only the public can see it. This means only members can see it who are logged in. And this here, and I'm clicking this image to rotate through these. This means everybody, both public and members logged in, would see it. But I'm going to hide it for now. And like I said, I can help you fix that code if you want, so that it shows your colors in your logo, like your blue or something as the background, fix the text and stuff. But I put it in there for now. And I'm going to save this, but I'm not going to make it active because you also have that option, save new version and exit. So now you can see this is the one that I dropped that code in, but Lori's version is still active.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yvonne, is there any
instructions on updating that logo anywhere out there on the admin FAQs page for the login?
I'm not sure about that. I didn't create those pages, but just a real quick refresher is you would go to your chapter tab, and then you would go to upload club logo. And it just has to be an image that is roughly 15 by 15 JPEG. So, I mean, you could do it as easily as something like this. I mean, honestly, if you can't find a good logo for yourself, you can just use a snipping tool and just grab that. And let's save, and if I wanted to save this, which we wouldn't because it's got a gray background, but you would just save that to your to download folder, whatever. I'm just going to save it right there. And then if I wanted to upload it, I would just click upload, and then I would grab that, and then that's it. It's uploaded. And I'm not going to save that because it's not the best. Actually, I am going to save it because then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to log out, and I'm going to go back to log in, and now that image is there. But I'm going to remove it because it's not the best image. That's it. It's very, very simple to do. Logo and remove.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, everybody, enjoy your day. And I'm sorry. Real quick, are you available on December 23rd for office hours, or should we be canceling December 23rd office hours? I know Ronnie sent out a little email yesterday about that, but please, if anybody thinks they're going to be here December 23rd, raise your hand. All right, I've got one person. Nicole, is that you clapping? Does that mean you will be here on December 23rd if we had office hours? Okay, James.
Yes, I'll be here.
Okay, so it looks like maybe 3 out of 10 people right now. So I will let Ronnie know. Ronnie has the ultimate decision-making decision on that, and she will get back to you on whether there will be office hours that day. Okay. All right, everybody. If there are no office hours on December 23rd, happy holiday season's greetings to everybody.
Thank you.
Excuse
Bye.
me, does the email about these meetings go to just the president? Because I will be president January 1st. Angela just forwarded it to me, so I came on today.
Let's see. There is a list here, and I can add you to the list that Ronnie uses. And I just need your email address.
I'll put it in the.
Pardon me?
I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, you've got. Okay.
Is it in there? Oh, I don't know. I didn't get the email.
I got it here. I will add you in here. All right. And then you'll start getting the notices then.
All right, thank you.
I see James too. I'll add you too, James.
Thanks.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.